The U.S. military shooting down a fourth unidentified high-altitude object Sunday, this time over Lake Huron.
What's gone on the last, 2 weeks or so, 10 days, has been nothing short of craziness. And the military needs to have a plan to not only determine what's out there, but determine the dangers that go with it.
Holy crap, this just might be it. I think the mothership has arrived. And let's look. The TV is telling us the UFOs are here, and the aliens are coming for our Satoshis and our brains. See, I'm not bullshitting you. It's on CNN.
It's interesting. This is kind of unusual that these pilots saw different things, and that is sort of, I guess, adding to the mystery of all this.
Yeah, not even the pilots apparently were really able to identify what they saw. And just to take you back for a sec, on Thursday, the U.S. defense officials sent F-35 fighter jets up to try to figure out what this object was that was flying around near Alaska.
What is it?
Those pilots, we have learned, have given very conflicting accounts of what they actually experienced, with some pilots saying that the object interfered with the plane's sensors, other pilots saying that they didn't really experience that, other pilots saying that when they looked at the object, they could identify no identifiable propulsion system, and they did not know how it was actually staying in the air, cruising at that altitude of about 40,000 feet. So this has all added to the Pentagon's wariness of describing in more detail what this object actually is until they can get more information through the debris that they are recovering right now.
Absolutely wild, and it appears there's also been a glitch in the Matrix. Somebody is shooting space lasers down to the Earth. This appeared to happen near Hawaii. Little sketchy. Don't know what's going on out there, guys. It's a lot to take in, especially when your alien overlords appear to be invading or on their way. And this from Walter Bloomberg, asked about ruling out aliens. Senior U.S. general says not ruling out anything yet, so get those tinfoil hats on. Nice piece of news here from Evil Michael Saylor. Alien claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto. Craig S. Wright files lawsuit. That's right. One fraud suing another, possibly. And it's getting scarier. The U.S. has identified more aerial objects and shot them down as a precaution after shooting down an alleged Chinese spy balloon on February 4th. And this is from the Pentagon. You can trust those guys. They don't lose trillions of dollars at a time or anything. Reports of an ensuing battle. I think we have footage right here. Oh my goodness. There are the Martians. There are the Martians. There's our fearless leader. Oh, that didn't end well, did it? Not good. Oh no. Oh, wait a minute. That's Mars Attacks. What this? Okay. What's Wall Street Silver got here? Breaking U.S. military shot down another high altitude. Okay. If the media has us all fired up about UFOs and balloons, then what is the real story they're distracting us from? It's all a distraction? You mean this? Get the All right. Death to the propaganda. Let's get rolling. So, what are they trying to distract us from? If that was Mars Attacks and not real fight footage, what's going on out there? Oh, UFO footage. Oh, maybe it's not real UFOs. Maybe it is all propaganda. It appears we're being bamboozled. UFO sighting in Toronto, Canada. Yep, definitely looking like a little Project Blue Beam. Go look that up for yourself. I mean, honestly, you think aliens are coming to communicate with us? They showed up, saw Clown World, took one look at this thing and said, I'm getting the hell out of here. They got 2,000 more years of evolution. But again, I mean, what are they covering up? What are they so desperate for here? Let's check out this footage from the UFO over Alaska. Oh! I'm not saying it, the balloon said it. And let's take a look. Maybe that is the distraction. I mean, if we were paying attention and looking around and paid attention to what has been said in the past by the current regime, you may want to steer people somewhere else. You wouldn't want people to get smart to what was really going on. Let's see here. What do you got, Tucker? What's going on with that?
So before the war in Ukraine even began, both Toria Nuland at the State Department, the number 2 of the State Department, and Joe Biden threatened to blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. Watch.
I want to be clear with you today. if Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly? Since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control.
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it.
So then the pipelines actually blew up. These pipelines that bring natural gas from Eastern Europe to Western Europe to keep the European economy going. And they exploded, causing the single largest human-caused environmental disaster in all of history. And again, setting Europe on the road to actual poverty.
And we know the story there, the crazy inflation, the energy problems, the energy crisis, and everything going on in Europe is just a disaster. Don't let them distract you from what is going on around you and all the information and corruption they don't want you to see or pay attention to. Don't get played. I mean, really, it's just one thing after another, right? Is it an alien invasion? Or are they trying to keep you distracted to protect themselves from all of their wrongdoing and shenanigans? Definitely the pipeline could be a part of it, but what about Ohio? So while we're watching the Super Bowl, dead fish and cattle are reported as far as 100 miles from the site, and a train derailment and explosion has released toxic chemicals into the air, and it is insane. Nice statement from Good Guy Biker. They have you looking at shot down UFOs while ignoring Chernobyl-style disasters just caused in Ohio. Look, it's aliens. Ignore the fertile regions of our country being destroyed by a single event. Here from Giacomo, it's a shame that cops keep arresting journalists who dare messing with the government's screw-ups in Russia. Oh wait, no, in China. Oh wait, no, in East Palestine. And yes, this is in Ohio where the disaster took place. They have their reports of journalists being arrested and silenced in the U.S. And again, haven't seen too much of this over the past few days. It appears to be like the mainstream media is not reporting on this, but more so these balloons from Langley they're reporting on. And just to put this in scope from untapped growth, things like this is how historically large famines get started. And if you are near this, you probably should get away from the area for a little while. We'll have tons of threads down in the show notes for you to go check out and see this material and the videos connected to it. And what is another just so wild? It's like, are we in a simulation inside a simulation? After the train derailment, Ohio residents are living the plot of a movie they helped make. Now, if you've seen the movie White Noise. Now let's just take this part here, and this is so crazy. When Ben Ratner's family signed up in 2021 to be extras in the movie White Noise, they thought it would be a fun distraction from their day-to-day life in blue-collar East Palestine, Ohio, where this disaster took place. Ratner, 37, is in a traffic jam scene, sitting in a line of cars trying to evacuate after a freight train collided with a tanker truck, triggering an explosion that fills the air with dangerous toxins. In another scene, his father wears a trench coat and hat while people walk across an overpass to get out of town. Directors told the group they wanted them to look forlorn and downtrodden as they escaped the environmental disaster. The 2022 movie was shot around Ohio and is based on a novel by Don DeLillo. The book was published in 1985, shortly after a chemical disaster in Bhopal, India, that killed nearly 4,000 people. The book and film follow the fictional Gladney family, a couple and their 4 kids, as they flee an airborne toxic event and then return home and try to resume their normal lives. This is insane. Let's take a look at this trailer, and this is from Erin Elizabeth Health Nut News. Here's a movie just made about a train derailing with toxins in Ohio, filmed in Ohio, where it just happened, and many of the extras were locals from East Palestine, who in the film were evacuated. Then months later, they had to do so in real life. Remember when we showed you earlier? There's a glitch in the Matrix? What the hell is going on here? But let's watch it.
I hope it lasts forever.
Let's watch a sitcom or something.
No! They're calling it the airborne toxic event.
We won't come this way.
Will we have to leave our home?
Of course not.
How do you know?
I just know.
Okay, what if it's dangerous?
Evacuate all places of residence.
have a situation. All we have to do is stay out of the way.
They're passing us, Dad.
Technically, that's illegal.
I mean, that is insane. So we know we're being distracted from bigger stories. The state is trying to protect itself from its own wrongdoings. I don't think I forgot we did bring up ordinals, so let's talk about some of the news related to Bitcoin ordinals, and then we'll get to some tweets. I know a lot of the based Bitcoiners, we are not the biggest fans of Bitcoin ordinals, no doubt about that. Here we are with this article from Protos, Bitcoin ordinals pump and dump using stolen images and copyright. And as we are in a cycle, new fads, new bullshit. But as the hype cycle begins for the NFTs on Bitcoin movement, profiteering ordinals pump groups have quickly sprung into action. Although NFTs have existed on Bitcoin for years via op_return data and counterparty, Bitcoin developer Casey Rodarmer's new ordinals project makes it possible to inscribe an unprecedented 3.9 megabytes of data into each Bitcoin block. The resulting inscription often takes the form of an NFT-like picture, a JPEG, a monkey picture, an audio file, video, or even computer games. Similar to an NFT, this inscription can be traded and passed along to other Bitcoin wallets. One inscription recently sold for a stunning 9.5 Bitcoin, or over $200,000. Someone is probably not gonna make it. Some inscriptions are harmless jokes, others are artwork, a few take the form of censorship-resistant speech, but most are hyped NFT collections inscribing stolen images, including copyrighted media. Now, there's one more article here, and this comes from CoinDesk, how Bitcoin NFTs might accidentally fix Bitcoin's security budget. According to the article, more transactions should mean more fees. Blocks full of transactions are better than blocks not full of transactions, not to mention the empty blocks, which does happen from time to time. It almost goes without saying, but a more robust transaction fee market is good for the Bitcoin network. It's good for any financial network right now. Miners make almost all of their money from the block subsidy, but the subsidy will go away, eventually leaving only transaction fees. So for Bitcoin to survive in the long term, a robust transaction fee market needs to hold. Now, to that, a potential best case scenario for the longevity of the ordinal JPEGs is that they act as a buyer of last resort for block space, kind of like how Bitcoin mining works in the energy department. Since ordinal NFTs are unusually large transactions, they will almost always be more expensive than normal peer-to-peer Bitcoin transactions on a per-transaction basis, even if they have low fee rates. As such, there is a chance a user who wants an ordinal NFT JPEG might be willing to wait longer to save money by paying a lower fee rate. Then these transactions will only be included in blocks when market fee rates are comparatively low and block space is abundant. As for what it means for the direction of transaction fees, Luxor's head of content, Colin Harper, put it well in a recent article. Quote, "There's a good chance that ordinal NFTs alone do not increase transaction fees. Well, they could increase fees, but not in the way you might think. After all, they benefit from the SegWit data discount, so theoretically, a block full of digital artifacts would actually carry fewer fees than one filled entirely with ordinary Bitcoin transactions. But if enough users start inscribing ordinal NFTs so that they seriously compete for block space with ordinary transactions, the users broadcasting ordinary transactions would need to increase their own fees for inclusion. So in this case, miners would likely prioritize as many ordinary transactions as possible because they have a higher fee per byte of data and they can fit more of them into a block, thus maximizing fees. So if ordinal NFTs create transaction fee pressure, miners will likely optimize for higher fees by including as many ordinary economic transactions as possible. Now me, I'm still not a fan of the JPEGery personally, but again, it's not necessarily new and Bitcoin is TikToking right along. And with that, let's get to the memes. UFOs are a good excuse as any to raise the debt ceiling. Oh boy, no doubt about that. Good morning. This from Bitcoin Clown. We're going to pivot very soon. Jay Powell's plan is working. Mass layoffs happening right now and economy is slowing. We're probably going to do a whole video on just the current macro situation and the lack of truth coming from the state. Because yeah, I mean, look at this sheet. But they said the economy is strong and we're booming. thing. I mean, it makes no sense to me. Here from Stephen Bishop, MD, replying to Joshua Steinman, what if I told you that government incompetence just caused the equivalent of a major chemical weapons attack in the center of the United States? Stephen Bishop, plot twist. This is to distract from the alien incursion in Alaska. You see, it's all part of the plan. Yeah, I guess it goes connected. And then, of course, the astounding logic shown right here. If you don't know what you're doing, neither does your enemy. Bold strategy, Josu. Another excellent question. I'm gonna have you take a look at there. If aliens land in the U.S., will they be required to show proof of? Hey, you go look for that yourself. And rounding it out from our friend Sven Heinrich, I always knew they'd ultimately try anything to eventually justify QE yet again. If you would like to hear more on how the state is using propaganda to attack Bitcoin, check out this episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Looks like we can put up our tinfoil hats, but we need to keep our head on a swivel because the information war is in full effect. Tune out from the bullshit, tune into Simply Bitcoin for the signal, and opt out of the fiat system for your freedom and future. Until next time, peace.